HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which you're watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen. The live graphic will show which game you are watching. It's an IHSAA version of the Red Zone. You can watch on all IHSAA TV apps, your smartphone, Amazon Fire, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Game Day is brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. Welcome to HCTV Sports Game Day. Welcome, I'm Brad Silbert. This is HCTV Sports Game Day. You'll see 4 exciting games on one screen.
Sectional football, that changes everything. But 2 very different styles come into this game on how the teams conduct themselves.
Yeah, one team wants to throw the ball, one team wants to run the ball. If you're Huntington North, you'll probably want to throw the ball, but they also run the ball. I think the key here is what team and what works for both the best team here.
And someone that, if Huntington North is going to win their first sectional game in most of the entire history of these high school players on the team, someone who's going to need to be dialed in is Brett Kaler, the Viking quarterback.
He's been very good at times this year. He's got 1,369 yards. His best game was against Leo. He was 23 of 96 or 294 yards. He would be the key factor tonight, throwing the ball, and he'll slew the ball anywhere on the field.
And he's got several good receivers, none better than number 4, Devin Newcomb, a junior.
Newcomb is, he's Mr. Reliable. He's caught the ball. He has 549 yards on the season. He's caught the ball 48 times. He's got 5 touchdowns. He's very dangerous. If he gets in the flat, Jonathan, he can go.
And someone who can also go, though not necessarily in a passing sense, but on the flip side of the coin, Harrison, they are very strong on the run. And their main man on the ground is number 47, the fullback, Omarion Dixon.
Dixon is the carry you down the field and carry you for another 3 or 4 yards.
He's great on the quick hitters, as you're going to see. This is him just scampering in for the end zone.
Yeah, if you look, he watches his blockers, follows his leads, and then when he sees a seam, he goes.
And what's interesting with the Raiders is Dixon, while he's the lead rusher in the main, he's the main option. He's the fastball. Someone who gets the most scores is the quarterback, who compensates for the lack of passing yards with a dominant rushing attack.
Yeah, Henson is the young man that you're speaking to. He's played all games. He's thrown the ball 473 yards. He's thrown for 9 touchdowns. He's also rushed for.
Visiting the Carmel Greyhounds, 7-2 on the season. Craig Atkins alongside Perry Williams. Glad you've joined us tonight on Hamilton County TV. Hamilton County TV presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating over 26 years in the business. Also brought to you by Noblesville Trophies, Community Health Network, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, and HCTVcalendars.com. And kind of a wet, it's been misting, and the rain picked up over the afternoon. And according to former Carmel coach and now administrator Toby Steele, the rain has dissipated. It was supposed to be a nice, bigger cell than this, but it's just going to be constant rain throughout the game tonight, and it'll be interesting, Perry, to see.
Nice to have Coach Smith along on the work and the play-by-play with me as we get you through this game. Coach Smith, let's start with this. As a coach, and you were a one for a long time, there's nothing worse than going into the playoffs knowing you're not 100% healthy. That, unfortunately, is the case tonight for Guerin Catholic. They have some major injuries at some key positions.
Well, it certainly is, Rob, and 2 of the guys are 2 prominent players of their 4 captains. Running back Dylan Crossan got injured in the first game against Brebeuf. He's got surgery coming up for a torn ACL. And then a stud lineman for Guerin, Will Pointer, broke his ankle, just had surgery Monday. Those are 2 key ones that will be missed by Coach Dilley tonight. On the other hand, Charles Bach, who didn't play in that first game, leading tackler for the Golden Eagles, returns to action tonight. So it's funny, I was talking to Coach Dilley, and he said the 4th of the 4 captains, Hank Bates, was kind of worried that he was going to get hurt too because it was just like a jinx.
And how about the numbers on Charles Bach? As you mentioned, he's missed a couple of games because
if you look at Huntington North, this is if there's a year to break through and get a sectional win and title, this is the year.
Huntington North used to play in the same conference that Harrison did. Then they went to Conference 8 a couple of years ago. Tech moved into that to the conference to take their place. When they changed conference, they changed style of football, and this is probably one of the best teams that they've had in a while, and they feel very comfortable in this situation, home or away. Talking about the other matchup in this sectional, McCutcheon, Kokomo. Kokomo must be is probably the hottest team coming into sectional play.
They've won 4 in a row. That's something you can't say about anybody else. But I liked what you were saying. Coach Rick Bernat, who's took over the team a few years ago. They've won 5 games in the entirety of his tenure, and a win tonight.
The one thing you have to worry about Columbus North is look at their record. They're 8-1. They've won a lot of close games. They have a lot of confidence. They have a lot of confidence in one another that they can somehow win the football game. So, those are the things that you want to come out tonight, and you want to start right from the beginning and try to dominate them and get on the scoreboard as early as you can.
Oh, that pass is deep and open.
Will receive to begin tonight's sectional semifinal game here at Ray Skillman Stadium.
I think that's a plus. Get their hands on the ball and get their offense, put some points on the board early.
Center Grove in their traditional home uniforms, red jerseys, white pants. running here to the near side. Hear the fireworks in the background. Columbus North on the other side of the field, the white jerseys trimmed in royal blue. Captains tonight for the Trojans, Jackson Moore, Sammy Holt, Matt Pence, and also Lucas Hunter. The captains for Columbus North. Trenton Kelly, their senior quarterback, along with Riley Abels. He's a defensive back. He's also a senior, along with senior offensive lineman Noah Algie and Mitchell Collier. He's a senior tight end, also defensive lineman. Actually, he's a junior, excuse me. So we're about ready for this matchup between Center Grove and Columbus North. The winner will advance to the sectional championship next Friday night to play the winner between Franklin Central and Jeffersonville. The Red Devils are hosting the Flashes tonight.
We'll be rooting for the Franklin Central team tonight.
Well, if Jeffersonville wins, Center Grove would play at home next week.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
but Franklin Central, the heavy favorite at Jeffersonville. If the Flashes win, will be at the Palace next Friday night at Franklin Central.
Just have a touchback. We don't return the ball out of the end zone in state of Indiana.
No, we don't. We just bring the ball back up to the 20-yard line. You put it on the hash that you want, either the right or left, and you play football. Right now, see what the officials put it right in the middle of the field, and we're ready to play football.
And then contrasting strengths, we said this earlier, we'll touch on it tonight. Huntington North, every once in a while they have a great rushing game, but their rushing attack a little bit subdued by comparison, especially by Harrison standards. They average 65 rushing yards a game, 156 passing yards. We'll see what they're able to do against a strong Harrison defense, one of the best in Class 4A, especially in getting pressure on the quarterback. And on 1st and 10 is Brett Kaler in the pistol. And a pitch to Logan Hippensteel. And he gets to about just short of the 25-yard line. And bring up a 2nd and long for the Vikings.
Tackled by Jacob Kane, the junior, went outside and filled the hole. He gets a couple of yards. And maybe that's exactly what they need to do, is to get their feet underground really solid before they throw the ball up in the air.
2nd and 7 upcoming.
I like the helmets.
They are pretty neat. The black with the red horns. In the gun is Brett Kaler. Fakes it to Hippensteel and gets a quick hitter for a first down for Huntington North, just short of the 48-yard line. That's Andrew Smeen.
Carson Steele breaking tackles into Columbus North territory for the first half. And tonight's opening quarter here at Ray Skillman Stadium. In this sectional matchup being presented by Duke Homes, Many Promise, We Deliver. By Texas Roadhouse. By Marine Center, the Boating Superstore. And by Century 21 Sheets, Tiffany McClurg, Realtor. 1st and 10 here for the Trojans. Ogega gets his number called for the first time tonight, and good job by the Bulldogs. They wrap him up, no gain. Try to get outside on that right side, and good job by the Bulldogs.
You can see a lot of penetration there by Columbus North over on the left side. They're Center Grove's right side, Columbus North's left. Wouldn't be surprised at all if we would see the double handoff at sometime tonight, because they're getting a lot of really chasing after the football.
Jackson Moore, senior quarterback for the Trojans, under center. Play action, rolls to his right, goes underneath to Carson Steele, completed pass, and runs out of real estate. He'll jump out of bounds at the 32-yard line. First down, Trojans.
Well, it's a great play, and that he's your best football player. He's best in open space.
Tyler Trent, the quarterback, number 12. Screen pass over the middle. Skylar Bradley.
Pass complete to Skylar Bradley. Fourth out of bounds by number 28, Dorian Henson.
Henson at number 28 on the tackle for the Rocks.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Tough 2 pickup for Bradley on the pass play.
You know, through injuries and everything, the the Greyhounds have used a lot of different running backs, and
yeah, I believe
they're starting to get healthy. Coach told me that for the last 3 weeks they've had 6 or 7 kids out, and some of them are coming back here tonight. We're not sure which ones.
Best time, obviously, it's Trent back to pass again, and finds room for the middle, and he will keep it himself. First down, 40. Check that 50, 40, and all the way out of bounds inside the 40 of Westfield.
This is not what Jake Gilbert, the kind of ball Jake Gilbert wanted to have happen to him right now. I mean, he cannot get in a track meet with this.
Yep, exactly.
Good, especially when it's come to scoring. It's come to scoring points. I mentioned the 41 points against Guerin earlier in the month. They put a 50 spot on Southmont last week, and they're led by their quarterback, who wears number 4, Caleb Ellison, who, again, he's a part-timer at QB, but he's a good one. And that ball is fumbled. The opening play of the game, the ball is laid on the ground, and it's recovered by Guerin Catholic, Tom Hokinson. Oh, no, they're going to say incomplete pass, and I do believe that is the right call.
It was a shovel pass.
That is the right call.
Yes, it was a shovel pass, not a fumble.
Down inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. So first down yardage for Noblesville.
Great call by Coach Roden. Jeff Broncos usually out of that base 4 down front. They had just 3 linemen, and nice blocking for the Noblesville Millers, including number 56, Dalton Davis. He's a senior at 6'2", 265.
Maris Nagoda, you saw earlier, the guards, along with Plecker and Knight, who are the tackles. So, a good field position. Noblesville trying to take advantage of it now as they have the football, 1st and 10, right at the 20-yard line, maybe just across it. Split backs now. On 1st and 10, little stop-and-go route, little hook, and that's the guy that got him the good field position, Jaden Barrett. Forward progress is going to give him a +4 just shy of the 15.
Garrett Price, number 2.
This football team, the motor that he comes with each and every night, he's a defensive lineman. He also snaps extra points and punts. He's in there right now getting ready to snap this one. But a very, very important part of this football team, and Gaffney did a nice job, got a huge block right there.
Good snap by Gaffney, the hold by Moore. And
great start.
Luke Eckert puts it through. It's 7-0.
They've only scored 12 touchdowns as a team. I counted that twice to make sure I was right when we were putting the numbers together. Showing pressure, low snap, he gets it off. Has a step into the end zone. Touchdown pass complete to Jaden Barrett. Penalty marker down. We think it'll be on the defense, but we shall see.
Barrett had 13 receptions coming in the ball game, and they matched it up with Price, and they went back to him again. That matchup with Barrett and Price, they really like it as they threw off the back shoulder. To me, I think that's a defensive pass interference. What are your thoughts?
Well, let's not forget, the touchdown is good. That is the call.
Touchdown run for number 31, Zach Lloyd.
I'm not sure I couldn't have ran through that big old hole that White had there. Look at this. Here's the replay.
5 plays, 61 yards. Just about 2 minutes off the clock.
It's up and good.
Good with 9:49 remaining in the first quarter. Colonel 7.
Ending kickoff return. It turned into the Jaden Barrett show early for the Noblesville Millers. And Mike, at the 9:50 mark.
Here for the Braves with 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. This is option football now for Ellison. A toss to Martin, who tried to bounce it outside. Good defensive pursuit, however. They ran to the short side of the field. And Guerin Catholic will keep the run to a minimum. It'll be 3rd and short.
Boy, they're going to that short side of the field every time, too, on the 2 run plays so far to the rebuff sideline.
Isaiah Martin, number 32, was a starter as a freshman last year at tailback for Brebeuf, and is back in the lineup again as a starting tailback this year as a sophomore. 3rd and short here. And they'll give it to Martin, and he got tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. He will be no.
Jonathan, and he just brings his head down, runs hard, hits the hole. Nice job by the guard and tackle to make a hole for him. Nice job.
13-yard gain for Dixon.
Dixon is a 6 foot, 180-pound fullback, and he is strong.
Feels bigger when he's trying to tackle him.
He looks bigger in that uniform.
3rd and goal from the 2. Atiso in motion. Jensen will keep. Looking for touchdown number 10. And he's short.
Wow. Knee must have dropped before he crossed the line. That ball is on the 1-inch line.
Go for it.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
I do have a good. Well, Brian Pennell this is extra point range. He's only missed one of those this year, but going for a quick first touchdown.
Quarterback sneak right here. Run it up.
Jensen will not do that. We'll hand it to Dixon, and Omarion Dixon finds the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
How about the center? The offensive center made the hole there and runs it right in. 1 yard. Got to count it as a yard. So touchdown for the Raiders. It's early 6-0.
He has hurt his average. He's now 7 yards per carry. His 3rd carry going for a touchdown, 21 yards. Here comes Brian Pennell, the kicker, number 4, for the extra point. He is 22 of 23. It's not going to be good. So it's 6-0 Raiders on Indiana SRN. We're always in the game.
Simons back, finds some room, running up the middle, keeps it, and he will get up across the 20, almost back to where Patchett ran to, near the 22. Picks up 7, so they're close to it. It looks like 4th and 1 now.
You know, one thing about it, if Simons can play well, the Rocks will play well. When he's played outstanding football for the Rocks at quarterback, they have been winners.
Yeah, 3 and out as they'll send the punt team out. Alex Bales will stand inside his
on offensively as this completion goes to Derek Matthews, almost 800 yards and 11 touchdowns for him. He averages 21 yards per catch.
One of the things that Jeff will do is they'll play up tempo, but they'll also spread the football all over the field.
Munoz on the run, first down to the 50. Keeps it running, stumbles forward for a couple of more after impact. It looks like they'll spot it at about the 47-yard line. As we mentioned, Munoz has rushed for almost 800 yards, but he also has about 150 yards in receiving as well.
Good blocking there up front by the Broncos as Zinnick finally had to make the tackle.
Seam route is complete. This time Zion Austin, who's technically listed as a tight end, was the beneficiary of that reception. Austin has caught 20 balls for close to 400 yards and has 7 touchdowns on the season. That too was a first down. This one inside the 35 to the 33.
They're really running tempo right now. Grimes doing a great job executing the offense for Coach Hanley's ball club.
And you see a shift defensively for the Noblesville Millers, taking a little longer off the snap now to let those linemen catch their breath a little bit. Little option look. Munoz has the corner, pushed out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Justin Johnson Sparks from his corner position steps up to run him out of bounds.
You've got to contain the edge, and that time Tuane Mark had a bad angle.
He was a little security blanket there as he gets the short pass, able to pick up 3 on the ground.
Yes, they did. That is number
Nick Simzak.
55, Simzak.
Wow, they tried to fumble there. Did a nice job of picking it up and then just stripped again.
3 takeaways in the first half for the Golden Eagles.
Tom Hokinson made a pretty good hit on the ball carrier there.
Isaiah Martin, Martin got lucky on the first bounce. It bounced right up to him off of the ground. But the second time he felt the contact, he put it on the grass, and it's recovered by the Golden Eagles. And they have the ball right at the 50-yard line, right at the midfield stripe. And that's a nice run on first down, right up the gut, handing it to number 28, Jagger Albert. A gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2.
I don't think Aaron's going to pass much on this series. I may be wrong, but just the way the ball game's going, there's no need to gamble right now with the way the ball's been just so darn slick.
I agree. It's been so hard to hold on to that thing. Why take any chances? Hagel on an end around should have enough for a first down. He had to get to the 40. He got to the 39 before he was tripped up by Jay Higgins, and that is a first down run for Hagel.
That's the Golden Eagles version of the jet sweep, per se.
Raiders!
Run that play.
Smith went up and climbed the ladder there and catch the ball, caught the ball. Nice job.
That is Smith's first touchdown of the year. Reception overall, and the Raiders lead 32-6, looking to tack on one more.
The kicking game has been suspect today, so I won't count those points early.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. The defense, however, for the Raiders has been consistently setting up the offense, and the offense has been delivering. Hazenplug, another high snap, but this kick is up. Towers over the crossbar, and good, 33-6.
Quigley's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eli passes the ball carrier. Brought down by Ryan Taleb.
No gain there by Patchett.
Ball's about the 36-yard line. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Looks like Harrison all over Huntington North.
They're going to call it 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5 here for Guerin Catholic.
2 down territory, no doubt, with the wind right now.
I was just thinking the same thing. Why not with that wind, as you said, and the way your defense has been dominating this game? I don't know why you wouldn't make this 2 opportunities here to gain 5 yards.
Guerin's done a very nice job of running clock down, too. They're going to snap it with about 3.
High formation. Demas, this time the fullback, was the first back through. Now he will not have enough. Nick Demas, wearing number 34, the junior, will not have enough, but he'll at least put them in a position where they're going to be looking at 4th and 1, maybe 4th and 1.5, if you will.
Boy, this second quarter's gone fast.
That almost caused a heart attack of every single home fan here, as that was up in the air for what felt like an eternity.
Yeah, the Tigers' defensive end is doing a nice job keeping their hands up, batting that ball down, but that time they batted it up for the Tigers to try to get the interception, but a break for the Pike Red Devils.
Love coming on the end around once more. He's got great blocking. Love at the 20, stiff-arming Davis. Davis wraps him up, brings him down at the 12. And what a good run from Love, as he is just having himself quite the night out of the backfield.
Yeah, Love's positive yardage is caused by the great blocking from the wide receivers on the outside and making that huge hole for Love to get through, and good job right there from Pike.
And now we're seeing this option offense really come into effect. They've had success with almost every single option in this package, so now they're able to mix up the looks, and now they're catching this Fishers defense off guard. Look for them to try and continue that as they get into the red zone. They were in that first matchup 3 for 3 on red zone tries, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So they really were very efficient in that first
zone, and it's caught by guess who? Brian Jenkins. He finally gets into the act. He had scored 15 touchdowns coming into play. The favorite target, and as we mentioned, These two went on spring break together to get to know one another. Really weren't even friends prior to last spring break.
And Groover, as I said before, is a pretty good defender, but that time, I tell you, Jenkins made it look easy. And the thing about Grimes is he's got a tremendous touch. I love the way he throws the football.
Marquez to attempt the point after now. Ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good.
Team to do the things that they want to do. Their offensive line has to keep playing the way they're playing. They're doing an outstanding job. I don't know what the flag was. I don't know if it'll be on the kickoff. Unsportsmanlike, Center Grove celebration
on the kickoff. It'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Yeah, it'll be on the kickoff, so not a big deal, especially since there's only 49 seconds left in the half.
Luke Eckert will attempt the PAT for the Trojans. Now the snap from Gaffney, the hold by Moore, and the kick is
ended up standing up all the way at the track. He took a big hearty stumble.
Yeah, Grace rushed that pass. It was right behind the wide receiver, and he looked very confused on that pass, but good job of the Tigers to hold Pike from scoring.
Smith in to kick this field goal. He's already hit an extra point here tonight. Tigers have had a great night on special teams defense. Smith trying to put it through the uprights. Regardless, very, very close to being blocked, but it does not matter as it sails wide right. Tigers will take over, and the special.
They could just beat you in so many ways with so many people. This is a short kick, take it at the 30. Wrapped up and dropped at about the 30.
For it again on 4th down.
They're driving right into the teeth of that wind here on 3rd and 9. Gelov wants to throw from the shotgun. Down the sideline, he has an open receiver. That ball is caught, and they'll be inside of the 10-yard line. Well, forget the rain, the wind,
Demas,
the bad weather conditions. They're still putting the ball in the air, and the guy that keeps coming up with the catches is Nick Demas.
Boy, I tell you, Geloff looked off the side. Demas came out of the backfield, and the linebacker didn't pick him up. Very nice read by Christian Geloff there to let their receivers get covered and throw it to the wide receiver out of the backfield.
The wheel route to Demas sets up the Golden Eagles nicely. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. I formation here. Play action after the fake. And the ball is incomplete. It was bobbled for just a moment. Again, it was Demas.
Well, he's been a busy man tonight considering he hasn't played the last couple games with injuries. He's playing on defense and offense.
Ran him into the flat off of the play action here, Demas. And they had him. But again, that football's so wet, it's hard to squeeze that thing. And it slips through his fingertips. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4.
That's not a bad drop, though. I think it's going to be a loss. Buff really sniffed that out very well defensively.
Stops the clock at 2 minutes and 3 seconds to play in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and goal. And now they go empty backfield. First time we've seen this formation tonight. Albert goes in motion, and I think we may have had a timeout. Yes, Mick Ressler takes the timeout for Brebeuf.
You nailed it. First time they've been in that set. And he
first down. Nope, they're going to mark him a little bit short. He was very close. 2nd and short for the Raiders.
Nice little delay there. He handed it off, and then it looks like he counts to 1,000 to make those holes, and then goes scampering down about 9. 2nd down and 1. The offensive line has done a nice job for Harrison blowing Huntington off the ball.
So 2nd and 1 for the Raiders. Dixon averaging a little over 6 yards per carry. Jensen passing. Smith just outside of his reach. That would have been catch number 2.
Got a flag on the play. I think you're going to have offense. I think you're going to have pass interference or holding here because the defender definitely had jersey.
We'll see what.
The side judge did not have it, but the back judge did. And that's what we have.
When it rains, it pours.
So you're going to go 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. And now you got a late flag again, Daniel. He just threw another flag.
Thanks, Phil.
Jonathan, I'm sorry.
It's not a sideline?
Nope, you got an unsportsmanlike conduct on the player. He picked up the flag, and then he threw it up in the air.
Now they're marching on down the field.
Frustration now on Huntington. And now Huntington called.
And boy, Guerin recovered it, but boy, they just lost a lot of field position. They were in field goal opportunity, or field goal range, and had that opportunity. Now gets a little bit tougher.
That 10-second snippet, a microcosm of how hard it is to hold on to that ball tonight. Now 3rd and goal, but the ball is all the way back to the 19-yard line. It had been at the 4.
I think Guerin's going to call a timeout here.
I think you're correct. They will burn their second timeout of the half. Each team now with 1 timeout remaining. Hey, if you're enjoying today's game, help make sure the resources are available so that great games like these can be played forever by supporting the IHSAA Foundation. Go to ihsaafoundation.org and make a tax-free contribution today. Well, Pete Smith, Mother Nature, sometimes she giveth, sometimes she taketh away. We've seen that tonight for both teams.
You win a game like this tonight, and you deserve it just because of just the field conditions, just the adversity that both teams are battling right now. 3-1 in turnovers. Guerin's had an interception. 3 fumbles by the Braves have been lost. 4 fumbles altogether. So it's kind of attrition tonight here with this weather, but kind of cool.
Well, when these two teams played on October the 5th, it was a 41-10 Brebeuf win. I don't think either team's coming close to getting 40 tonight, not in these weather conditions. They will work from the shotgun here with Gelhoff on 3rd and goal from the 19. Got a running play for Jagger Albert, and he gets planted, and I mean planted, by number 55, Tyler Miller, who's been all
by 31.
Be interested to see what that Kokomo McCutcheon game is.
We'll give you an update when we have it. That's one of the out-of-town scores, but they haven't updated that one yet on the old mobile phone. But that will be key to see whomever the winner of that game is whomever this winner gets. Hand off to Dixon. He's trying to battle in, and he gets it to about the 5, right back to the line of scrimmage. Increase the down and try it again.
Time is not a factor here now. If you just take your time, you have an opportunity just to bust this thing wide open. Sectional championship games next week. Slew of them on our networks. We'll know what those are going to be on Monday.
Will Miller wide to the top. Dixon, the fullback, Atiso in motion. It's on the dive to Amarion Dixon, and the Viking defense has been stout on this series. 3rd down and goal. Check this out. If you want to see a bunch of our features, this is a new thing for us, our YouTube channel, please subscribe. We'll have features, game recaps, whole bunch of great content online on YouTube.
There's no receiver in the area, although I don't know. That's an interesting call. I mean, I would have thought that at the very least, Mike, that could have been ruled a fumble.
Yeah, exactly. It was a live ball behind the line of scrimmage. He dropped the ball on the ground and should have been ruled a fumble.
So a loss of 5, and they throw it out to Munoz. He has a couple of blockers. Most importantly for Noblesville, he stays in bounds. Munoz might have been well advised to try to preserve a timeout by getting out of bounds instead of cutting it back inside.
Much like his teammate Matthews, get the football and go out of bounds. You don't have.
Brings it to 39-6.
Looking for 40, although the extra points have been an adventure tonight for both teams. Ryan Pinnell, number 4, the kicker. Hazenplug, the snapper. The snap is good. The kick is up. Looks good. It is 40-6, the Raiders. And this is
at least one of our games that we can get you a live look in on game day. We've got 5 other games we've got going on. Jim is
John Rogers, the punt.
Trying to keep track of and keep updated. Punt team on. Rogers, he's punting this one this time, trying to go toward the sideline, and that goes out of bounds at about the 20-yard line.
Guerin up 10-0.
Rogers' punt goes out of bounds at the Westfield 21-yard line.
Fisher's 13, Pike 7.
No updates yet on the Kokomo-McCutcheon game, though that game has started. Knightstown Triton Central still at 0. Tri-West leads Danville in a rivalry game in Hendricks County, 19-0. Western Boone leads Tipton 14-7. New Powell leads Zionsville 16-7. That's 2 touchdowns and a safety. And then Carmel leads Westfield 21-0. No score updated in the Sheridan Monroe Central game. This ball will check up inside the 5. Newcomb is going to have to make some magic happen, and it won't work down at about the 11. Huntington North begins this drive. Here's a replay of the touchdown.
Just takes the ball, going to be an option, and muscles it into the end zone.
Yeah, he just got his head jarred back as it looked like that was one of the interior linemen, either Smith or Clark, delivering that hit for Pike. So now Matt Noble checks back into the game. Junior with the touchdown already. He's going to be in that deep pro formation. He'll get the handoff here, trying to bounce to the outside edge. A lot of opposition, but he was able to fall forward, get very, very close to that first down marker.
Yeah, Noble did a nice job going to the outside and not jumping over, but getting over 2 defenders, aiming for his legs, but a good positive yards for the Tigers offense.
1:50 to go in this first half. Tigers have a yard to go to get the first down as they are trying to add to their lead, 26 yards to the end zone. They are up in this one, clinging to a 13-7 lead. Some insurance would not hurt them. Tigers out in the I formation. Noble jumping forward. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. Good blocking from Brown, but that play was almost blown up in the backfield. Great penetration from this defensive line, but Noble able to outrun them.
Yeah, Noble was met right at the line, but Noble had a little bit more power in his step and got that first down, and the Tigers are rolling right now in this drive.
So now Pike coming up in that man formation, showing a blitz, as there are only 2 receivers out there for the Tigers. Rue scrambling, tossing that one up. Dunnick almost able to make the grab, but great defensive pressure, knocking that away. It was a dangerous pass as Holt able.
A touchdown earlier, gets a sack here.
Sorry, there was a misprint from our guys at keeping the score for us.
Chittard is leading Rushville by
49-6.
Chittard was favored in that game by 70 points, and they're well on their way. The biggest favorite in the state. Do you know what it was?
Pioneer.
This weekend? Yes. Do you know by how much?
86-6.
Basically. 91 points.
Score a 1-yard touchdown run, compliments of Charles Bach, that opened the scoring. That was in the that was the first play of the second quarter, actually. First play of the second quarter. And then a 35-yard field goal made with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half by Friedman of Guerin Catholic. The only other score, that too was set up by a fumble. So it is 10-0, 10-zip. Guerin Catholic leads Brebeuf. Rob Blackman here and Pete Smith. We're so nice to glad to have you with us, I should say, on what, again, is not a great evening for football, Mother Nature-wise, but hey, welcome to an outdoor sport in the month of October, late October, in the state of Indiana. Pete, I'd like to talk about the fact that these 2 teams played back on October the 5th. It was a game where Guerin Catholic lost a couple of key players to injury during that game. Brebeuf took full advantage, beat them 41-10. Brebeuf had 4 rushing touchdowns in that game despite having only 86 rushing yards as a team. Tonight, Brebeuf has had some success running the football. The problem is they can't hold on to that thing. Even after a nice, strong, long run, they keep putting it on the ground, and Guerin Catholic's been taking full advantage.
Without having official stats there, I bet you they've only had the ball about 6 minutes in this whole first half because of their turnovers. And, they came out throwing. They were slinging the first three.
But you wasn't born yet in 83, 84.
It's true. I was not. 3rd and 14. Kaler, gotta have it. Completes it on the far side, but they're well short of the first down. That Harrison defense, it came into tonight 4th overall in Class 5A. They're 1st in class in sacks, and they have looked every bit as good as advertised.
Got a timeout by Harrison with 1:17 to play in the first half with the score 40-6. Don't forget, Indiana SRN brings you high school volleyball tomorrow on our internet radio station. We'll be down in Columbus East as Heritage Christian takes on Christian Academy. Game time is at 1 o'clock. We'll go on the air at 12:40. Semi-state volleyball. Next week is the Volleyball State Championships. Indiana SRN will have the volleyball banquet next week on our network, so check that out as well.
This doesn't seem possible. It's already done.
Volleyball season over with this next week. Soccer ends this weekend.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have a great interview with Coach and a wonderful guest. But we'll also recap this first half. We will preview the second half. We got some good features. Don't go anywhere at halftime. We're not.
Well, I was hear from Daniel McMaster down on the field.
We will hear from Daniel McMaster down the field. Another update. Pioneer is leading Carroll 54-0.
Is that Carroll Fort Wayne or Carroll Flora?
Carroll Flora.
Traders
Cougars.
Point leads Tinley 21-2.
Got 2 return men for the Raiders. It's Isaiah Armstrong, number 10, and nearest you is Quentin Wood. They're both off screen at the moment. So we're waiting to resume play. The Raiders have 77 seconds to score again.
You put it in here again?
They could. They could just call a timeout. It would be rather demoralizing if they did for Huntington North, one would assume. Snap was low, fielded by the punter. Wood will fair catch it.
Wow. Nice catch.
And the Raiders will start this, one would assume, their last offensive possession of the first half, though one never knows.
Yeah, I don't know if you listened to the commissioner report this week, but it was very interesting. Bobby Cox, the commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, and Bob Level was talking about games that were lopsided and how we can control those games and how we do those. And they were talking about running clocks and keeping things rolling so no kids would get hurt and keep the sportsmanship alive of the game. Because we're seeing some really dominating games early in the sectional play.
Too.
Yeah, a lot of points have been scored.
It's been Bill had a stat early in our season where he read off the amount of basically blowout games, and it just seemed like they're up this year.
Free kick. You get a free kick. If he puts this through, I think it's 3 points.
How about this? This is going to be a free kick, Jonathan. You know what this is? If he kicks this in the end zone, it's 3 points. This is very interesting. You're seeing something that's rare.
I've literally never seen this before. Pennell.
And it's short.
Oh, wow.
So now the ball goes back out to the 20. Well, the free kick, what a free kick is that any kicker can put it on the tee, and if you kick it, and no one can rush you, and if you kick it into the end zone, it's 3 points. And if you miss it, it goes back to the 20-yard line. It's the defenseless ball.
Do you have to kick it into the end zone or through the uprights?
You got to kick it through the uprights. I stand corrected. Got to kick it through the uprights. But he missed that by about a yard.
That was close.
You can do that on any play, yes. In my ear, someone has asked me, yes, you can do that anywhere on the field.
There's a wonderful voice from producer Jerry that none of you could hear, but Keith and I could. So with 70 seconds to go, the Vikings
gets the ball back.
1st and 10. Kaler to Smeckens, and he's short of a first down.
And let's finish that thought. That's one of the ways you could do sportsmanship. That very same thing is sportsmanship, because you don't want to run up the score. So what you want to do is give your field goal kicker an opportunity maybe to make a history book and tell his grandchildren what he did.
Yeah. No, I like that. I'd never seen it before. And that's why you tune into Indiana SRN.
You see everything.
.org.
Exactly
you see
right.
a little bit of everything tonight. Kaler almost got smacked, but releases the pass, but it's incomplete for his intended receiver, Loston Shearer. 3rd and 3 upcoming.
I've seen about everything in this game. That's the most weirdest thing I've seen in the first half.
Yeah, right there with you. Kaler currently is 6 of 9 for 94 yards. He needs a bunch more here. 3 for a first down and another false start by Huntington North. And Keith, whether turnovers or penalties, the Vikings have not been able to get out of their way tonight.
Yeah, and you know, positive yardage, you get positive yardage, and then you do things like that to lose your 5 yards, and you're about even on the night with positive yardage. And it's just one of those things that happen in the game. And, you know, now the weather conditions going to change because it's going to get cold. You're going to get cold on the sidelines. It makes it very difficult to come back.
7 penalties for 71 yards against Huntington North. 3rd and 8 for Brett Kaler and the Vikings. On the draw, hip and steal.
Oh.
He got about 4.
Almost loses the ball there. Timeout by Harrison.
So let's look at a couple of the other high school, or not high school, but college games coming up this weekend that might be of some compelling interest. I think the best game, there's 2 games besides the one we just mentioned, the in-state ones. Number 9, Florida, and number 7, Georgia, playing in Jacksonville at 3:30. Pretty annually a good matchup. And number 18, Iowa, travels to number 17, Penn State. The Nittany Lions responded pretty well after losing 2 straight by beating IU, and now they get a welcome in a pretty hot Iowa Hawkeye team.
Hawkeyes are pretty good. They run the ball very, very well, pretty dangerous. I think the Hawkeyes might get them. It'd be very interesting. I love the matchups in the Big Ten. IU plays tonight, which is a rare game on Friday night.
We'll give you an update on that.
That's at 8:30. Is that an 8:30 start?
It's something like that, either 8 or 8:30. They're at Minnesota, who's 3-4, but road Big Ten games are always tough. Other Big Ten games: number 20, Wisconsin visits a pesky 4-3 Northwestern Wildcat team. Washington State, number 14, at number 24, Stanford. Is this punt almost blocked, but it will be fair caught just across the 50 on about the 49 of the Harrison Raiders. And now this would be a very, very, very long free kick if they tried it.
This would be a 60-yarder. What I think might happen here is the good old kneel down.
The old classic kneel down. If it is so, and it's looking like it, a dominant first half by Harrison, and I think one of a caliber that would have been hard to foresee coming into tonight. To this degree, at least.
I agree with you. I thought this game would be very close, at least in the first half. But as we run down the clock, as we're going to go to halftime with the score of 40-6, and to be honest with you, Jonathan, it could have been a lot worse. But Harrison has done a nice job. Now Huntington has to.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on wood. This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Last year, Brebeuf ended Guerin Catholic's season in the opening round of the sectionals with a 21-6 win over the Golden Eagles. Guerin Catholic is trying to return the favor tonight here in the sectional semifinals as Guerin Catholic has a 10-0 lead over Brebeuf. We are at halftime here at Guerin Catholic High School. Tell you what, you look at just the really not only the last 10 games, which have been dominated by Brebeuf. They've won 7 of the last 10. But of the 15 games played, Brebeuf with 11 wins, 11-4 all time against Guerin Catholic. Coming into this matchup tonight, I mentioned earlier this year it was all Brebeuf 41-10. But Mother Nature has a funny way of equalizing the ball games, and she has done that tonight. 3 fumbles lost by Brebeuf. Guerin Catholic has taken advantage of the 3. They've scored on 2 of them, and they lead 10-0. So, Pete, I'll turn this to you. Let's start with Tom Dilley in that Guerin Catholic locker room. What is he telling his team right now, enjoying this 10-0 advantage?
Keep playing solid football. Don't turn the ball over. 2 hands on the ball. Wrap the ball up. Don't give up any big plays. Right now, he was really concerned coming in, Coach Dilley. Big plays over the top. None so far for Brebeuf. So far, their quarterbacks have not been able to stay in the pocket.
Right.
They've rushed him out of the pocket very well. A couple first downs running early in the game by Ellison, but after that, pretty good containment. The return game's been, very minimal because Guerin's went for it on 4th down 3 times. They made it 2 of the 3. They threw the interception on the other one, but that was just as good as a punt because they lost 2 net yards. They were on the 18-yard line when it happened. So just keep playing solid. Guerin deferred on the kickoff, so they'll get the ball to start the second half.
Backfield, and the quarterback's going to try to run it, and his
he got it.
Lunge
Barely
gets him the first down. What a play by Caden Curry, the freshman.
He had
him wrapped up at about the 29, but again, he's 6'5", 205.
Yeah, he's big, and his weight leaning forward is able to pick up that first down. But good job by Curry. He had him eye to eye right there and almost brought him down short.
So a new set of downs here for the Bulldogs at the 30-yard line. Opening drive of the second half. Center Grove in front, 28-0. From shotgun formation. Completes it, and he is hit hard by Matt Pence. With the completed pass to Huffman, and Pence, second leading tackler for this Trojan team.
Yeah, it's Huffman coming out of the backfield, their top running back, and he makes a nice catch. But, boy, Pence put it on him. There's no way he saw Pence coming, and hit him low and hit him hard. Good pickup for Columbus North, though. They've made some good adjustments and doing some good things here to start the second half.
6 yards on the pass, and now on 2nd down and 4, there's a
holding
flag. Pass is complete for the first down, but let's see what this flag's all about. Pass was complete to number 4, Langston Lunsford. Flag at the 32-yard line. Could this possibly be holding against Columbus North? If so, might be the first holding call against the Bulldogs tonight. Center Grove's had at least 4, if not 5, holding calls tonight.
That's a big one. That is a big one because they had picked up a first down on a nice throw, and Center Grove's going to continue to put the pressure on defensive line as much as they can.
So brings up 2nd down and 18 following the holding penalty against the Bulldogs. Kelly looking, good coverage down the field. That's a coverage sack. In on the sack, you've got 42, Caden Curry, along with Brian Gaffney. They might split that sack.
Yeah, and you can see, they're wanting to, right there Center Grove took away the one that they were wanting to throw to, and then all of a sudden he's got to start looking around, and the defensive line just putting so much pressure on him he doesn't have time.
Loss of a couple of yards, and now 3rd and 20, and Gaffney jumps a little too eager. Ball at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, they need to get to the 40 to pick up a first down. So you're a Center Grove defender. You need to know where that line to gain is.
3rd 15 from the gun. Kelly stands tall in the pocket, across the middle, completed pass to Scruggs, and he'll get the first down. He's taken down at the 47-yard line.
Well, Center Grove's in pretty good coverage right here. You can see the linebacker, he dives after this ball, and it just slips by him right there. You can see he dives forward, he gets up, and I think he ends up making the tackle anyway. But again, Columbus North doing a nice job here in the second half of picking up first downs and moving the chains.
22 yards on the completed pass to Scruggs. Kelly will dump it off, screen pass to Huffman, his running back, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Well done by the Trojans. Trey Clark leads the charge. I think Pence also in on the stop as well.
Yeah, that play for Columbus North is just too slow. I mean, it happens too slow. You need to get that ball earlier to Huffman, give him a chance to run. You can see the defenders for Center Grove are right on top of him once he catches the football, and it's just not going anywhere.
2nd down and 10. Fakes the handoff. His man from the slot does a down and out. 6 red jerseys all over him. I believe that was Huser, number 2, with the catch, and finally gets back to his feet. Needed some help.
Jagger Albert at the tailback position on 2nd and 9. And Albert is carrying the football. This time he finds a little bit of a crease, not much of one. But guess who comes up off the bottom of the pile? If you guessed Jay Higgins, you got it right. It's a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 6, along 6, maybe 3rd and 7 here.
And Tyler Miller had a great first half for the Braves, too, 55, their nose guard. So he's a load to try to move out of there. Joe Strickland playing there. Was it Joe Strickland next to him was 50. Both those guys have been tough to block for the Braves.
Yeah, 51. You're exactly right. Strickland.
6'4" freshman. Wow.
Only a 9th grader.
Wow.
3rd and 5. You know, Brebeuf would love to, 3rd and 7, I should say. Brebeuf would love to go 3 and out here to start the 3rd quarter. Jagger Albert is not going to get to the 30-yard line. Boy, he was going to be awfully close to first down yardage, but he did not reach the line to gain. 4th and very short. You got to punt here, right?
You do.
I mean, this would be a very short field if you attempted a 4th and 1. And yes, here comes the punt team.
2 solo tackles in this first.
High snap. He'll roll to his left and underthrows his receiver. That was Scruggs, and they had a lot of height here on the right side of the line of scrimmage for the Trojans.
That he's seen a lot of action. I believe he's their leading receiver without even digging up the stat sheet. Dane Wheeler.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the quickest players on the Shamrock roster and has not, I believe he looks like I think he's been blanketed all night by the Carmel secondary as.
Well, you know, there again, that Carmel secondary is very, very good. Very patient, methodical.
Henson from the 11 trying to find room, and he's
looking at
up across the 30, the 40, and he gets tripped up. Oh.
Wow, he was gone to the races.
Yes,
he
was.
Got tripped up.
You got that right.
That was a great run back there. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. He finds a seam there, and he's just got a little bit tripped up, in fact.
That may have been.
Spot the Westfield 39-yard line.
Yeah, Tamaris Springfield 13 is the one who tripped him up, and he gets this Westfield drive started at their own 39. Could have been either off to the races for a touchdown for Henson, but nonetheless, they've got good field position. Patchett carries the ball on first down. Gets up near the 43 for a 4-yard pickup. Already one of Patchett's better carries of the night. He only had 17 yards on 6 carries in the first half.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Craig, from watching game day, it looks like no one is not. Everyone's seeing rain.
Patchett, little screen pass, and he loses yardage. Back to the 37. That's a 5-yard loss.
Pass complete to Eli Patchett. Tackle by Dominic Patchett.
Brings up a 3rd and 12 after
Ball from the 37-yard line.
the drive started off well for Westfield. Crucial 3rd down.
Dominic Paget kind of sniffed that out, Craig, out there in the flats. And
Simons rolling out right, finds found the receiver, but it skipped just in front of his chest.
Absolutely.
And that was intended for Dane Wheeler, incomplete.
Collie 13-10 at halftime. Some scores around the area.
And a bunch formation to the top. Instead, they come to Jenkins to the bottom and let him work one-on-one. Pretty good pressure defensively, pretty good coverage all in all. Noblesville, Carson Sanders stepped up out of his defensive back position to limit the advantage to a couple of the penalty marker is down. And we've got an ineligible downfield, I believe, against Lafayette Jeff.
And that'll be a big plus for Noblesville because the Broncos have been
they're going to pick it up.
Wave it off. How do you like that? The Broncos have been very efficient on 1st down, and that time they did get 2 or 3 yards. They have not had any negative plays here in the first half, and if they can move the chains here, they are in the driver's seat for good in this one.
Well, give them 5, so 2nd and 5 now is back to a bit more of a traditional offensive set, and that was almost picked off. Carson Sanders was there, and it slipped right through the wickets, and the intended target was Brian Jenkins, making it a 3rd and 5 and a huge defensive down for Noblesville.
And that time, the Millers had 4 guys rushing the quarterback. They've dropped down an extra linebacker, showing a little bit of pressure here.
Watch Zion Austin in the slot to the right.
On the Jets, and he'll be tackled down around the 5-yard line. Bach on the tackle there. Make it 2nd down and about 5 coming.
6-yard line, gain of about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, now we have a timeout called on the field. We have an injured player.
Box down over there after making that tackle.
As far as Center Grove turning things around. Back to pass. Going to the end zone, looking for Holtz. Did he hang on?
Yes, sir.
Touchdown, Sammy Holt. His first game back since
How
week 1
sweet
injury.
is that?
17-yard reception for the touchdown.
We know that nobody's worked any harder than Sam. I think it shows you how much Eric Moore thinks of Sam Holt, because as soon as he was able to put him back in there tonight, he put him back in, and he didn't just put him in there because he's a senior. He put him in there. He had him running the football. He has him blocking. He knows he's an important piece to this team as far as leadership, and then I think that he probably wanted to get him a touchdown if at all possible, and a nice throw by Jackson and great catch by Sammy.
First touchdown of the season for Sam Holt. Again, got hurt in week 1 against Warren Central, broken collarbone.
Well, as we mentioned earlier in the game, they're already without Dylan Crossan, their star running back, Will Pointer, their solid lineman plays both ways. So
the right of his quarterback. Levens is the deep back, and they'll go that way with the lead blocker and nothing doing.
Wow.
That road was emphatically closed. 45, Britton Chandler came up from his middle linebacker position and said, not tonight.
Wow. They had an extra blocker on the right side, but they went over the left side. And
That's just getting off the line of scrimmage and moving, guys. That's all you're doing there as a defensive lineman. I mean, that's great form. You got to get lower than the lowest, and that's what they did there. Similar formation now. 2 tight end. Bad snap. He gobbles it up. Single coverage out the flat. Nothing doing there. Groover was trying to run off the defender, and he was able to get a little room there, but Gremmel did not make a good throw. Noblesville needs to capitalize here, Mike. 3rd and goal.
Makes it a challenge, and at times, looking at Noblesville tape, they like to go to Blevins out of the backfield, number 7. offensive line needs to do a good job of holding up this Jeff defense because they're going to be really coming after things right now.
Third down and goal for the Millers. A slot released up the seam, but they'll go to the end zone and got the defender turned around behind him, bobbled it a couple of times, and Groover hauls it in for the touchdown. Nothing's been easy for Noblesville tonight.
Wow. That's a huge play for the Millers. It gets them right back in the ball game. Good play action there by Gremmel.
That's a great throw and a good job of getting that defender turned around. Defender just lost touch of him.
He did.
Noblesville not going away, which is not a surprise to anyone who's familiar with any team coached by Justin Roden. Boy, if you're Jeff, you think, and now you're called for offsides, but I mean, if you're Jeff, you've got the ball to start the second half. You got a 14-point lead, and boy, you're thinking a good drive, good quick score, put this thing away early, and next thing you know, you get a stop off a penalty. Little miscue on the punt, give Noblesville good field position, but Mike, let's not underscore.
The leading receiver for this Bulldog football team, 8 yards. And it is a Columbus North first down. Morgan Insurance Group is your local independent insurance agency, serving its clients for more than 80 years. They provide personal service for all your business, home, auto, and life insurance needs. Visit them online at morganinsurancegroup.com or at 889-1000. New Palestine and Zionsville, 16-10. New Pal by 6 in the third. Close game there in that sectional semifinal game. Sack.
Guess who?
Mr. Gaffney.
Threw it out to the right flank. Was that ball intercepted?
I don't believe so.
No, it's just a nice tackle, right?
Right.
The Brebeuf players were all pointing the other direction, that they had actually, like they'd taken the football away. What they had done is basically stop Patrick Hagel from making a nice gain.
Ball spot on the 33-yard line. It's third down.
2 yards on the pickup by Patchett.
Brebeuf scored, so it guaranteed Brebeuf 7 with 7:25 left to go.
Simons on the rush, and he is sacked back at the 41-yard line. 8-yard loss on the play.
Tommy Sprates on the tackle for the Greyhounds.
And watch how loose Sprates gets on this.
Oh, man.
He did not bite one bit.
Sophomore. In this game, it feels like he has 145 tackles all by himself. He's been all over the field, and it's now going to be third down and 7 as we are halfway through the third quarter here at Guerin Catholic High School. Gelov to throw. Under some pressure down the sideline. It is incomplete. I think there might have been some miscommunication there as Bernie McGinnis had turned to the inside of the field, coming back on the inside turn-in route, and that ball was
inside the red zone. Fisher's putting in Jonah Dunnick at fullback. Looks like they're pushing everything into getting this one short yard. We saw them already on a quarterback sneak with Rue earlier. We'll see if they go back to that here. That's what it'll be as he just puts his head down and keeps on trucking. Still on his feet, he'll get 3 yards, first down, and then some.
Yeah, good play call by Wimmer right there. Those plays are very successful when your O-line is 6'3" and above, because these big O-lines can push through anything.
Yeah, really getting a good push off the ball, and you are not exaggerating. Everyone on this front line for the Tigers is above 6'2". They got Peretz, who's at 6'2", Vanderkamp, who is 6'6" on that right tackle position. Hayden Tobias up front at 6'3" in the center spot. Andrew Voschkel, 6'3" on left guard. And then Ethan Dye at 6'4" on the outside. A lot of size from this front line. Scally using that size to his advantage. He'll push forward for 4.
The Tigers are progressively getting through, getting those positive yardages, and Pike is doing a nice job preventing big-time plays, but still Fishers is getting more of that positive side, getting those good yardage.
pushing forward now, slowly chipping away at this Pike defense, trying to take the wind out of their sails, if you will, try and get momentum back for themselves after that interception to end the first half. They had Stotts in motion. Quick pass over on the side, and that's going to be dropped. A good throw from Rue, but Jeffrey Brown not able to make the grab.
Yeah, Rue did a nice job. It was a little risky throw right over a Pike defender, but Brown was just not aware and haven't played wide receiver or tight end in quite a long time.
So 3rd and 8 from the 11-yard line. Pike looking to make a defensive stand and send the Tigers back on defense without a score. Rue's going to be out of the shotgun. He's got Scally pushed behind. He's back to pass here. Not a lot of time. Throws that one outside, and Jack Free makes the grab as he's going to get right up close to that goal line, and he makes his 2nd reception of the night.
Great call right there from Wimmer. Stas said a little pick for Free to get wide open, and Rue threw that perfectly right into Free's hands, and that was a good execution right there from the Tigers.
Free had some trouble earlier in the season with catching some of those quick passes, but he has really worked his way through it, and he is putting on a clinic tonight, watching the ball into his hands through this rain and making sure he makes those grabs. 1st and goal from the 2. Hand off to Dylan Scally. He's diving forward. He's going to be just an inch short. Very, very close, but Pike able to make the stand. That'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, the Tigers' offense is just moving smoothly against this Pike defense. Let's see if the Pike defense can have a goal line stand.
So a 2nd and a literal inch, the nose of a football away from cracking this game wide open. 6:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Rue's going to be under center. We've already seen 2 QB sneaks on this drive. That's what it'll be here. He dives forward, both sides pushing, and Marcus Rue able to make his way into the end zone. He's going to score. It was not a pretty score, but it was definitely necessary for the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers, this drive was probably the best drive they had this entire game. Good job, good play calling, good execution from the coaches and players. And the Tigers' offense is just rolling through Pike's defense.
Phillips on for the extra point. He's made one, missed one tonight, and that one's going to go wide right again. So he misses 2 extra points tonight, his first 2.
You see his football IQ is starting to ramp up there, because otherwise he could have very easily thrown that football into coverage.
Averages 300 yards a game. Receivers are averaging 18 yards a catch, 42 touchdowns, and as Mike mentioned, just 5 interceptions. And oh, by the way, again, he's a sophomore. Going for it all here. Pretty good defense had to help over the top and underneath, most notably Zach Groover. And Groover's a very active defensive player, but Aiden Richardson was helping him there in double coverage.
That time, Noblesville had 4 guys rushing the passer, and the left defensive end for the Millers did a good job of sort of hurrying at the last moment, getting his arms up, and Grimes had to throw the football a little bit deep there.
Big 3rd down and 10 now. Grimes, Munoz to his right. Munoz steps up, blocks the defensive end. They throw it underneath, and the pass is complete to Zion Austin. We thought we would see him eventually, and he just leaked out the flat from that slot position at the bottom of the formation. And as we mentioned, a guy with 400 yards and 20 catches on the season.
Great job of throwing the football. Just a nice touch there. He's not trying to overthrow the football, trying to drive the ball to the outside.
On the run by Gabe Wright. Now, was he past the line of scrimmage?
I sure thought he was, and we'll see up. Here's the flag coming on the screen. Yeah, he had a 1st down.
Yeah, had he kept running, I agree.
But he saw that receiver.
Better than that, Craig. I mean.
Now, with a great play by Nate Fry to spin that and flip out and up the sideline to pass, and almost intercepted by number 7, Owen Schaefer.
Pass different. Patrick Beam is incomplete.
Beam, the intended receiver, number 7.
And Beam had to play some defense there to keep it for him catching it.
Runs away from it, and he's chased out of bounds. They did a nice job of defending that 4 receiver set to the high side and gave him nowhere to go in single coverage to the bottom.
Well, this young man, Grimes, he really has a good idea of what he needs to do with the football.
Now, he's a sophomore in grade only, don't you think? I mean, really,
No doubt.
at this point?
He looks like he's a senior ready to play next week at the next level.
Yeah, Coach Shanley said they've thrown a lot at him, and he just takes it in like a sponge. Noblesville doing a great job of blowing up that screen, and Wyatt Blades continues to be very active. Although Blades, Mike, he had 60 tackles coming into play, and including 4 tackles for loss out of a defensive back position.
Yeah, they have been really active defensively on the outside there. But again, good Grimes, a lot of credit for delivering the football. He's not made any critical mistakes right now in the ball game.
Yeah, they've essentially taken away that quick screen with that bunch formation. Grimes, pressure coming, but only 4.
Wow.
Wide open in the slot was Zion Austin for the touchdown. And Mike, in that situation, bottom line is this: Noblesville simply has to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback, because Maximus Grimes will sit back there and do just that. He'll pick you apart like a surgeon.
Yeah, he's got a great window there to deliver the ball right down the middle of the field. A lot of times if you got defensive linemen who get their hands up in the air, the quarterback doesn't have very much of a window to throw, but not that time.
In the R&M of Carmel. And this one, decent punt, rolls. And that's going to roll back.
So far in 2 possessions.
Albert, the ball carrier, bursts through the seam, falls ahead for a gain of a couple. Tackled there by Charlie Dapp. Well, you think about the first meeting between these two teams on October the 5th. Guerin Catholic had only 33 rushing yards total for the game. So they've had trouble in a couple of meetings this year against Rebuff moving the football. And we have an injured player, and that
Jagger
is
Alberts.
Boy, yeah, that's not the guy they want to see go down. They're already on their second string tailback.
And it right up the gut.
Yeah, good read by Matheson, getting in the middle there, scoring the touchdown to go.
Ted, Lawrence Central.
Having that be a constant for him. So now Rue's going to be under center. Hands this one off. Play action, going deep with it, trying to find Stotts, and a penalty marker thrown right by Stotts. And that looks like it's going to be a pass interference.
Looks like there's 2 penalties on the field, roughing the passer right after the play, and that pass interference, these penalties will add up and will be a huge negative effect on Pike if they keep on doing this.
Yeah, that is just a tough play, but that pass interference, not sure about that call, because for it to be a pass interference, it has to be a catchable ball, and it looked like that throw was just sailing over the head of Colin Stotts.
Yeah, a little overthrown, but Stotts ran in to one of the cornerbacks, kind of selling that play, but Stotts using that senior mentality.
Returned by Zedek. He rumbles and stumbles inside the 45 to the 40-yard line. That is a load that you're going to try to bring down at 5'10" and 200 pounds.
And you got to give him a lot of credit, because on a kickoff like that, he has every reason to put up his hand for a fair catch. Instead, he said, I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to make something happen. And look at this. The Millers have the ball in the 40.
Riverview Health Westfield Hospital is now open, featuring the area's first combined ER and urgent care. Right size, right care, right here.
The end zone for his second touchdown of the night. What a great run from the junior.
Fantastic blocking in the middle, creating that open hole, and that fake confused Pike's defensive line, that hole to open up for Noble. And Noble did a nice job finding the hole and bursting with speed right through the touchdown.
A beauty of a run and a great night for the young man as he
20, 10, 5, touchdown Gabe Quigley. Nope. Yes.
That's your backup, Craig.
Yep, that is the backup quarterback.
What a play, though. Watch this.
Delayed reaction, but yes, it is a touchdown. He did not step out of bounds. 50 yards by Quigley.
50-yard touchdown run for number 17, Yay Quigley.
As he fooled everyone on that play.
Here it is.
Now watch this.
Oh, my
Everyone
gosh.
thinks Zach White's got it. Even Lucas. No, but plain as day, you can see foot does get in just inside the pylon. So
good job down there, though, Lucas.
Yep. So 129 left. Third quarter, it's Carmel 28.
Dude. Yep.
I think you have to. Producer Jerry, what do you say? He chuckled. I think that's a yes.
I think he's saying yes, too. We're at 6:45 and running.
Ground ball. He's able to gather it back in. He's got a receiver in single coverage, and he completes it for the touchdown. Great throw and catch to Zach Gruner. You can't throw it and catch it any better than that.
Same pass play to Groover in the corner of the end zone, and another touchdown. A great catch there. His third touchdown of the season, just his 8th catch of the year. They're making it happen here at Noblesville, and they're making this close.
Quentin Stephanie, the guy that was beaten there. And that is a tough, tough ball to defend. You can't throw it any better than that. He just dropped it right down the drain pipe, as they say, Mike.
Yep.
So Jack Knight trying to put the exclamation point on the Noblesville answer and keep this one close. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. And how about that special team?
Second half yet.
Can they convert here on 3rd and short? Hall stays in the game as the tailback. And they're going to give it to him. And nope, Jay Higgins is pushing him the other direction. Tough to run against that guy on the final play of quarter number 3. It's going to be another 3 and out for Guerin Catholic. When we come back.
That run.
Trips at the bottom of the field. That's where Graves is looking. He's got his favorite receiver, Lamar Eccles, on that one. He picks up his 3rd reception of the night. This one good enough for a first down.
Yeah, Eccles did a nice job on that slant, and Graves did a nice job executing that throw right to his hands between some of the defenders, and a good play right there from Pike.
So now switching it on the look, they're going to put Trips at the top of the field. Graves will look back there once more. He's scrambling, breaking out into the secondary. He is popped by a plethora of Tiger defenders, and he'll pick up a good amount of yards there. Graves, a real dual threat archetype, able to make things happen with his feet.
Yeah, Graves looked like he was running slowly, but his long strides make him gain more distance.
He was able to pick up 8 yards on the quarterback scramble. Didn't see anyone open downfield. Took matters into his own hands. And he's going to go back to throw this one. Slides just before he gets hit. And that's going to be a 3rd and 2 as he was barely able to make his way back up to the front line.
Yeah, Jeffrey Brown was right there, ready to hit Graves, but Graves slid right before Brown came.
And timeout called here by the Red Devils. We'll take a quick opportunity.
Aiden Richardson. So a big answer, but a penalty marker is down, and that's usually bad news for the return team. They actually kicked that flag back a little farther to about the 32-yard line. You know, Mike, there are those that say, you know, they wish the 6A boundary was maybe north and south instead of east and west because of some perceive in central Indiana as the advantage that gives Carmel. Some have suggested seeding, which I think is close to an impossible proposition to be able to pull off. There are those that disagree with that, and that's fine. But you always look at tweaks here and there, but I think all in all, as I said, this is a really good tournament. The one big adjustment that I think they made that I agree the most with is putting essentially the bye week for 6A in the first round of the sectional instead of the semi-state weekend as it was, I believe, the first year.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. I think this is a tournament that eventually the cream rises. It really doesn't matter who you play.
From the 22, an incomplete pass. Go ahead.
Whoever wins the championship at any level, whether it's Class A or 6A, Class A, Pioneer being the favorite, 6A, Warren Central being the favorite this year.
In the shotgun position. And he wants to throw. Looking in the slot, incomplete, and then almost intercepted. Boy, that ball hung up in the air just long enough that I thought for a moment Simon Banks, the safety, would have a chance to intercept it. The outside backer, I should say, not safety, but outside backer for Brebeuf. But it was incomplete, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah. Patrick Hagel was his target. And again, we're talking about a wet football. Even though the rain has let up and the wind is not as great as it was, I think, in the first half. Still not very nice out there, though, Rob.
Let's just say we're happy we're in the press box. I think that's a fair statement. 3rd and 7. And they will keep it on the ground this time. Higgins puts his arms around the ball carrier, Braden Hall, and brings him to the ground. Well shy of the first down, but at least it was a couple of...
Kaler looking for a first down and incomplete, but a flag comes tumbling in.
Late flag. I think you might have holding here on the defense.
We'll see. Fortunately, we have a former referee to be able to break down this sign that you're about to see.
No indication yet what it was.
Fourth down. Excuse me, 3rd down and short. Kaler with Hippensteel in the backfield with him. Fakes it to Logan. Pitches it out to Newcomb, who's swarmed by a bunch of Raiders, trying to outrun to the sideline, and will be ushered out of bounds.
Lost some yardage there.
Probably should have just dropped it.
So now it will be 4th down and about 6.
Man, they were going to say he stepped out of bounds near the 50. But if he had not taken that little misstep, he would have been absolutely gone. No one in the area to stop him.
Yeah, the offensive line did a nice job keeping the defenders out of the outside.
Newcomb lost 3. He is in the slot at the top of your screen. Wide to the top is Andrew Smeckens. Hubbard wide at the bottom. Kaler looks towards the ball's tipped in. Incomplete.
Falling on top of him, Chris Okstanovich, number 50. And Augustinovich's tackle was a significant one because it holds him shy of the first down marker by, you can see it right there. The ball has to reach the 50-yard line.
I actually thought it did, but his knee must have been down at the 49. That's what they're going to give him.
Our videographer, JC, is right on it. That's a perfect shot. You can tell basically the length of the football.
Pretty good tackle by Augustinovich there.
3rd down and the length of the ball. Hageman turns and hands to Charlie Dapp, and he will have enough for the first down. Justin Spaulding, 74, again the lead blocker, pushing up front for the offensive line, and it's 1st and 10 for the Braves. Ball's at the 49-yard line now.
Guerin's defense looking a little weary out there right now.
Don't need to get it all, but they're going for a big play. They throw into double coverage, and actually I think he saw Gruber was covered, Mike, so a pretty good decision on his part to simply throw it away. But give credit to the secondary for Lafayette. Jeff did a great job of covering downfield.
Yeah, they gave him a different look.
Accepted for the 4th takeaway of the night by the Guerin Catholic defense. They tried to go up top down the left sideline, and Ben McDaniel made them pay, or who was that? That's right, that is Daniel Rode. Daniel Rode, who has switched uniforms tonight, wearing number 22 with the INT.
Boy, he stayed on the inside. He did a great job on the coverage. He did a great job, never let the receiver get inside of him, and great job by Rode, only a sophomore.
They had a last-second jersey change tonight for Rode. They put him in number 22 jersey, and he comes up all smiles with that interception, and that is a huge takeaway, 4th takeaway of the night. He intercepts the football at the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 now for Guerin Catholic.
Field position, though, move too. Guerin needs a first down desperately.
3rd and 8. Noy misses everyone. 4th down for Huntington, or for Harrison. Huntington North will most likely be able to get the ball back here.
Ball spot at the Carmel 38-yard line. Gain of 3, 3rd and 5.
Third and 5 at their own 38 for Carmel. 9:33 and ticking. Quigley back to pass. That's plenty of time. Screen pass off the hands of intended receiver number 81, Zach Dilger. We've heard that name in this area.
Absolutely.
Actually, check that. That was 84. 84, Aiden Ellison. Incomplete, bringing up 4th down. But nonetheless, we saw Ken Dilger downstairs in the restroom at halftime.
Yeah.
He stands out.
Yeah, he's pretty easy to see.
His big frame. Former Colts and Tampa Bay Buccaneer and Illinois Illini tight end.
That 48 punt. Got a patch to receive.
48 in there to punt now. Takes his time and almost got that blocked. It's not a real lengthy punt. And it's going to go out of bounds. Looks like near the 47 is where they'll mark that ball. And Westfield will have good field position to try and get something going on the scoreboard.
Rue passing it short. Colin Stotts makes the grab. Stotts with the attempted spin move. He was caught halfway through it and fell down awkwardly. But a great tackle there, able to catch him in his ways. Penalty marker down on this one.
Yeah, it was a good job with the cornerback preventing Stotts from going even more, because Stotts is a threat when it comes to one-on-one with his spin moves and jukes. It is very it's a very scary sight, but the Pike defender did a very nice job stopping Stotts from going more.
An illegal motion recalls that play. So Stotts had that good little catch. Trayshawn Jones had a good tackle to bring him down, but it is all for naught, as it'll result in a 1st and 15, a bit of a do-over, but just 5 yards back. Back out of the shotgun, Tigers, 3 receivers top your screen. Noble in at running back, Pike showing blitz.
Sacks and 6 hurries on the season for Tolliver. On 3rd and 13, Grimes is trying to keep that drive alive. He's looking right where he has trips. Deep ball, has a man open, and he missed Brian Jenkins by about a step and a half.
Boy, he had him. He was there. He had a beat on the defender there, number 2 for
Gelov to throw to the right wing. The pass is caught.
Bernie McGinnis.
And he's trying to spin out of some trouble and then also spin away from the tackle of Greg Coleman. Coleman is also tugging at that football, trying to get it out of there.
They got about 17 yards back on the pass play, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, moving that ball out to about the 17. You're right, a 5-yard gainer or so. But, yeah, 4th down. And, boy, field position does become crucial now because we're closing in on 5.5 minutes to go in the game. As Gabe Wright moves back with his heels at his own 48-yard line, waiting for this punt. This is a low liner. Wright is going to have to just step away because of the direction it is bouncing. It will bounce into Brebeuf territory and be down at the 46-yard line.
Boy, Jay Higgins.
That changes things.
started on their own 19 and all the way down the other end. How do you like that?
That's going to help Brian. His long was 58. I think he's beaten that. That's going to help that 33-yard average too. So, I mean that's a guy that he just does so very many things well. I like that jet sweep. It's the first time we've seen that tonight to start that series for him. As we said, 48 catches, 850 yards, 15 touchdowns, averages 18 yards a reception. And think about that now. 48 receptions and he averages 18 yards a catch.
You know, just shows that skill level, that speed, that awareness of being able to find the open hole, the run after catch. It's just an added weapon for this Lafayette Jeff Ball Club. But now, you know, defensively, they still have to make plays here.
Pass out to flat. Receiver is open. It is complete. Wyatt Blades, we called him a lot out of the secondary defensively in that first half, and now he gets into the act offensively.
They've got a lot of guys playing both ways there. Davis, the center, playing nose tackle as well, and Blades, as you mentioned. And, of course, Zenik, the linebacker, also running the ball and blocking.
Garrett Price stepped up out of his cornerback position to try to make that stop, and he just kind of flicked him off like a little bug and got about 5 more out of it. From the 33, Noblesville throws it out the flat. Good throw and catch, and really good defense by Lafayette Jeff. Steven Stephanie stepping up to make that stop.
Barrett gets his 15th catch of the season. As you mentioned, Stephanie did a good job, but Groover was coming over on a crossing route as you see a flag on the play.
Yeah, flag on the high side at the top of the screen.
Could be another hold on the Millers.
The illegal procedure, which is better news than a hold for sure.
Yep.
Is it just me, or does it seem like this third quarter's lasted a week and a half? It's a pretty good throw and catch, but again, all for naught. It's false start. Lafayette Jeff leads it by 7. We get ready to wrap up period number 3, sectional 4. 6A with the first week off, and they're full bore now. Looking right, looking left, plenty of time to throw. And he's got to throw it away.
He's got
to throw it away. That is and he's hearing about it from the sidelines too. I mean, that is a mistake that you do not expect a senior to make.
You can't take that loss.
No,
not this stage of the game, and not this down and distance. This forces him third and boy, forever.
I mean, you're outside the tackle box. Just throw it into the stands. It's 2nd and 22. That changes things a bit. And we'll see if Lafayette Jeff can capitalize now. Spread that defense out a little bit as a result. Look how deep those linebackers are playing. Gremmel tries to set up the screen. It's defended very, very well, but still manages to break a tackle and squeeze a yard or 2 out of it. But Noblesville was not check that Lafayette Jeff was not biting on the screen to the tight end Luke Williams.
Cross missed a tackle in the backfield there, and Price came in and cleaned it up. And I think, Mark, right now, I think the Lafayette Jeff defense is kind of tired. They're not putting the kind of pressure at the line of scrimmage that they were early on in the ball game, or at least through the early part of the third period.
DeMarco Cross, he defended that screen very, very well, as he does most things defensively. But at Noblesville, they'll have a 3rd and 24 when they come back. They trail Lafayette Jeff by 7. Defense is
9 with 3:41 and counting to go in the game.
2 down territory.
Ellison has to double clutch and hit as he throws. It is incomplete. Incomplete. The pressure was on for the Guerin Catholic front line. What a play up front by the young man who wears number 50, Chris Augustanovich. And now it's 4th and 9.
Refs called him out at the 1 yard line, but a fantastic throw right there from Rue and good awareness from Stotts.
Yeah, that's a great route from Stotts. That wasn't even the design route. It looked like it was supposed to be a fade, but the cornerback was guarding him very, very tightly. Stotts came around, doubled back on it. Rue found him, and that is agonizingly close for Colin Stotts. Almost got across the goal line, but stopped by a fingertip. Tigers will take a timeout here. That is their final timeout of the half.
Game, and that is number 6, Jack Schrempf. He handed it off to, I believe, Trevor Walters.
Schrempf,
or
a junior.
Brock Robertson. Here's the fumble again.
5'9".
That slow motion. Oh, man, he had no chance.
Yeah, he had no chance at all. The ball just pops right out. Nice job by the slope. Nice job by the cameraman. Look at that.
Just a miracle, that one.
That's super slow-mo right there. That's a new feature on Indiana SRN. If you'd like to sponsor that, just let me know.
2nd and 10. Schrempf hands it off.
So Schrempf is a quarterback.
And
the pocket for Noblesville. Didn't give Gremmel much of an opportunity to throw the football.
Jeff trying to flip the field here, and Jack Knight punts it away. That one gets on the ground, and it's going to take a pretty good Noblesville roll. Not as fortuitous as the roll that Lafayette Jeff got on their last punting opportunity, but nonetheless, it rolls inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Our goal is to make life as full, rich, and meaningful as possible for you and your family. Call us today, 765-296-2911, or visit the website at mulberryhealth.com. Mulberry Health, your experience, our.
This kick should be returnable, and it is. Taken inside of the 5-yard line. A big return would help here, but they are not going to get one from Jake Fancher, as the special teams unit covering the kick for Brebeuf was ready, willing, and able. So with 3:16 to play, the ball at the 18-yard line. Let's see how Tom Dilley and the Golden Eagles choose to play it. You certainly could be aggressive, but remember, if you throw incomplete passes, you'll be stopping the clock.
Well, and let's see who's at tailback, too. Is Jagger Albert back, who started this game? Went out with an injury 2 series ago.
Yes, he is.
He is back in, okay.
Number 28 has subbed back into the game. And they're going to play action. This is a quarterback keep, and that's a nice run.
Christian Geloff.
Well done. Geloff was eventually tackled by number 15.
Needed 10, got 10.
Got exactly
down.
10, didn't he? And I think that was Liam Murphy. They don't have a 15 on our roster, unfortunately, so I apologize for having to guess on that one. Second and 10, Jagger Albert. Boy, he couldn't run away from that guy.
Jay Higgins.
I don't even have to say the name. You just know when I say that guy, you know who I'm talking about. Jay Higgins, number 44. That's a gain of 1. Second and 9. The clock continuing to tick now at 2:30. 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Certainly, Guerin Catholic doesn't mind playing it close to the vest here.
No.
You don't want to give the ball back to Brebeuf. Worst case scenario, just take it into overtime. Yellow does want to pass. Floats when it's intercepted. It is intercepted. Oh, a huge takeaway. A turnover there. Compliments of Adam Vanderkooi. The linebacker with a takeaway with 1:59 to go in the game for Vanderkooi. His first interception of the season, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
He was right in front of the intended receiver, Bernie McGinnis, and just the pass wasn't long enough.
And knowing what we just saw a moment ago from Bevelheimer, they're already in field goal position.
Do you want to remind you they have fumbled 5 times in the game with 4 turnovers. So, but none the second half.
The second interception of the game from the Brebeuf defense. This one from Vanderkooi. And it's play action. Trying to run out of some trouble, and now lofting it up for the back of the end zone. That pass is caught for a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Michael Bales catches the touchdown throw from Ellison. Ellison looked like he was going to be sacked not once, but twice. He stepped out of the trouble, lofted it up for Bales, and Bales makes the catch for just his second touchdown of the year, but it is a big one.
Oh, it's a huge one. Guerin's defense never quite looked like they were in sync, even though they had a chance to get Ellison behind the line of scrimmage. And I just blurred out, it looked like there was a hold on the play, but obviously I was wrong.
Boy, what a turn of events as Bevelheimer kicks through the extra point. Think about this. Guerin Catholic had the football. It looked like maybe they're just going to run the clock out in regulation. The interception by Vanderkooi, the touchdown pass to Bales, and now it's 17-10 with 1:50.
Showing blitz, they bring the house, the keeper. That's probably the best call there if you're Gremmel. I don't know that much else positive could have happened there.
And for Lafayette, Jeff, you have to be aggressive. You have to continue to be aggressive in this football game. Don't let them control the line of scrimmage. And there, look at 24 Wyatt doing a good job getting in the backfield for the Broncos, along with 19 Monroe.
A loss of 1, so great call defensively by Lafayette Jeff. 7 points the deficit for Noblesville. See those receivers dispatched to the left side. Wyatt Blades is lined up in the slot with Zach Gruber on the outside. The pocket collapses, and he's able to break free from the initial attack, but then the numbers just get to be too much. And who's in the middle of it again? DeMarco Cross. I think Gremmel, and especially that left tackle over there, Garrett Plecker, might see DeMarco Cross when they wake up in the middle of the night.
Not only that, that right side of the Noblesville offensive line is not being able to handle Monroe, number 19, rushing the quarterback. He forced Gremmel to move up in the pocket to create that sack. He's been all over the football field. But again, Jeff, attack the line of scrimmage.
That three-man front that they've used in this particular defensive set has resulted in a loss of 5 in the last 2 carries. They set up the screen, and boy, is it defended well.
To go 80 yards to score a touchdown and add the extra point to extend this game. Brebeuf leading 17-10. Without question, the biggest play here in the second half, the interception by Adam Vanderkoy. That gave the ball back to Brebeuf. They had the ball in Guerin Catholic territory, and they took full advantage on the touchdown throw from Ellison to Bales to take a 17-10 lead. Ellison's 10th passing touchdown of the season. This pass is incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 as the ball was whipped out there to the right flank, intended for Nick Demas.
Well, they rushed 4 that time, including Higgins. And I just think that little extra pressure made Geloff try to get rid of the ball a little bit faster with Higgins coming from that right end.
Well, you would think Brebeuf's going to bring pressure now, really put the pressure on the quarterback. 2nd and long. Geloff wants to throw. And Bates does have a catch. Bates out on the left flank with a reception. Won't be enough for a first down. They'll have to hurry to the line of scrimmage. He was tackled in the field of play. We're under 90 seconds remaining in the game. It's going to be 3rd and 7. It was a 3-yard catch. Geloff again to the left flank, and almost an interception there that would have sealed the deal. Cutting in front of that pass at the very last second was Brandon Osupu, the junior defensive back, the corner. He couldn't come up with a catch, however, but now you're looking at 4th down, 4th and 7 here.
Any chance they have to pick up this first down, have any chance to win this. So let's see what they dial up from the sideline here. As Geloff returns back to the huddle.
1:15 to go in the game. And timeout has been called. Tom Dilley could tell that his team was a little disorganized offensively, and they will take a timeout on a crucial.
Enjoyable and so much easier for sure.
Well, Noblesville got a break there for the first time off that kick. And there is a Jeff player lying down at about the 37-yard line. I'm not sure who that is, Mark, but it doesn't look good.
Braves showing so much resiliency, staying on his feet, juking in and out of defenders, pushing past tackles. A good run there from the QB.
Yeah, Graves is just running past the defense right now. His scrambling is fantastic.
No huddle offense, catching the Tiger defense off guard. That's going to be a quick little pass, picking up 3 yards.
A little momentum shift going to the Pike right now. They're moving the ball now with ease, but where was this earlier in the game?
McLaughlin on the catch, his first reception of the night, good for 3 yards.
Got Avon over Perry Meridian right now, 42-7, and that's gone final now. So
Avon advances. Look for them to be playing Brownsburg next week for the title in the sectional. Quarterback sack on 4th and 7, and that should seal the deal. They brought pressure. We thought they would. And Simon Banks with a quarterback sack for the Braves. And Brebeuf's going to take over the football with 69 seconds to go in the game and leading 17-10.
Though it's not over, give the Braves a heck of a job regrouping at halftime, down 10-0 in that locker room, and knowing they had to kick off to start the third quarter. It seemed like Drake Hagerman gave them a spark, coming out, taking over the quarterback reins in the third quarter, and then handing it back off to Ellison. And between that and the defense, solid defensive effort by the Braves the second half.
Well, think about the defense. They came out, they forced 2 3-and-outs to start the third quarter, and then they had the biggest takeaway of the night on the Vander Kooi interception that would set them up on the short field for the touchdown pass to Vales. Now,
Grimes going to keep it a rare carry for him, but a positive outcome as he picks up 5. Kenja Jenkins, as we said, a pretty active interior lineman, a fumble recovery, a couple of sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 47 assists, and 28 solo tackles coming into play. A run this time by Munoz as they decide to get a bit more conservative on this offensive set as Lafayette Jeff. And quite frankly, Mike, I don't think Noblesville minds that.
Not at all.
3rd down and 3. Pat Shanley said he wouldn't mind a few big drives in the ball game. A great second effort's going to result in a first down. The initial contact looked like they'd stopped him short, but he kept the legs driving, slipped out of one defender, and got across the 30-yard line, which is all he needed. Watch this second effort and a good seal block on the outside, and just a good second effort and keeps the legs driving. And also, you can tell they worked on that, teaching those running backs to fall forward. Mike, that's huge because you pick up a good extra yard or 2. Grimes again on the keeper, and it shows a lot of strength in eluding one would-be tackler, but is finally, once he escapes Groover, is chased out of bounds.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Lafayette Jefferson, Grimes runs out of bounds to stop the clock, and that's exactly what Noblesville wanted on this play because they forced him into a loss of 3 here.
As we mentioned, Shanley said, Coach Shanley told me earlier this week, he said, we like those big plays, but, some sustained drives wouldn't be bad either because of how stingy Noblesville can be with the football. Pass intended on the slant for the slot receiver, and a misfire on that brings up a 3rd down and 13.
And Justin Johnson Sparks, number 2 for Noblesville, was also in position there to pick off the football there. And Jeff's got to be very careful about handling the ball here late in the ball game.
Bishop Johnson, we haven't called his number much. He's lined up as a slot receiver. He's 20 catches on the season, right at 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, but misfire there to him. 3rd and 13, big down for Noblesville, but something about the play that's called and the alignment that Noblesville has defensively does not please Lafayette Jeff, so they take a timeout. So, not over yet. 6 minutes remaining in this one, and you see 28-24, Lafayette Jeff leading Noblesville.
This is a little dangerous with the tensions flaring and the tempers flaring, where a lot of times just a quick little penalty like that or a quick little hit at the end of a play can get blown out of proportion. So referees doing a good job right now of keeping an eye on that. They got to continue that going later, especially in a game like this with repercussions that echo throughout the postseason. So now with 6:32 to go in this first round of sectionals, Sectional 5 matchup. Going to kick this one away, showing an onside, but squibbing it right out of bounds. Not the result you wanted out of that one. That'll give the Tigers the ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they kicked it straight out of bounds. Not even kicking it towards the middle. They're giving another good field position for the Tigers. And the Tigers today has been showing heart, and they've been playing very well this entire game. Rue especially his confidence has been boosted up throughout this game from the first quarter and to now. He has been more confident than ever in this game and doing a nice job.
Coming in now for the Tigers, Lucas Pruitt will get his first minutes out there. He'll hand that one off to Sean Kim. Kim with his first run of the night. The 3rd stringer coming out there and just tearing a hole through this defense. He picks up, give him an easy 20 yards.
Good job by the O-line, making that hole for Kim to run through, and Kim did a nice job finding the hole, cutting through edges, and getting great positive yards.
So now we're going to see the backups getting some playing time here for Fishers as they're looking to just run the clock out. But Pruitt has already had some starting experience under his belt, and he has done well with it. So he is not a stranger to these situations. Boland in motion. And now another handoff on that far side, picking up a couple of yards there.
He came in averaging 33 yards a punt. That's right, I said 21 attempts. That's not a lot considering how many games they played.
Not a lot. Their offense has been very productive. And, again, we knew Noblesville had a really good defense, and they've stepped it up a notch here in the second half.
I think this is the drive that has to do it for Noblesville.
This has got to be it.
Yeah, because they can't. I mean, you just with that football team, Lafayette, Jeff, you just can't hold them at bay forever. I mean,
No.
they're going to make a play.
And if they can't get a couple first downs here, if they force a punt, Mark, Jeff's going to get the ball in pretty good field position.
Yeah, so really Jeff's defense could set the tone
Yes.
for their offense here with a big stand.
Right now they could make it happen, but for Noblesville, that short passing game has to be perfect. They've got to find a way to get a good snap and protect the quarterback. He can find receivers.
Not much doing on first down, so it's 2nd and 10. And again, Gremmel throws it out. Pass is complete. Wyatt Blades, as we mentioned, a guy that we've seen a lot on the defensive side of the football, has asserted himself offensively here in this second half. He's got a couple of receptions now as the clock rolls. Noblesville moves the chains to the 32-yard line.
And Noblesville doesn't have to rush anything. Jeff had 8 guys in the box there, so why not throw the football?
You see, 5 minutes now. They're showing blitz. They bring a lot. Noblesville, pretty good job of picking it up. They're airing it out up the sidelines. A lot of contact there.
Wow.
Don't see a flag. Pretty good defense all in all. They're letting them play, I'd say.
They are letting them play. Number 14 there, Stephanie, had contact with the receiver downfield. Pretty good throw there by Gremmel.
Yes.
And him and Blades, there's contact. There's no question about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of. But I think, you know, let me say this. Had it been called, okay.
Yep.
The fact that it's not, okay.
It's okay.
I mean, it's, you know.
Yep.
I know that Coach Roden may not share that sentiment with us, Mike, but that's that. And, you know, again, just a good high percentage, high possession pass to Wyatt Blades because they're recognizing, Mike, how soft the corners are playing on the outside. And why not take that 6 or 7 yard completion if they give it to you?
It's there on the last play, Mark. It wasn't called, but the Noblesville, the left side of their offensive line, got off the ball before the ball was snapped. They were very fortunate there not to be flagged.
I mean, Gremmel right now, you look at the bottom of your screen, he's 14, he's some 7 yards off the receiver, and he's bailing as soon as the ball's
Chandler.
snapped. And what a great play by Chandler.
Wow.
When you need him. We said we didn't call his number a lot in the first half, but boy, the second half, when they have needed big plays. Remember, he blew the screen up earlier, which led to forcing them into a field goal, and then on a big 3rd down right there. I mean,
that is a great play.
Boy.
He just blew that one up for Lafayette Jeff.
I don't quite frankly.
And that was a 3rd down.
Yeah, and I don't know how you don't find him somewhere. I mean, you got to get a helmet on him. He's just pretty good punt. See if it gets on the ground. That'll help him a little bit, and it does. It rolls away from the return man, and this is going to be a great roll for Noblesville down to about the 10-yard line. However, the clock and the scoreboard in favor of Lafayette Jeff. And, you know, I think if you're
that was very dangerous. Almost a safety, almost an interception in a span of 3 or 4 seconds. So a dangerous play there.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the play that the Eagles ran in the Super Bowl.
Exactly, the Philly special. That's exactly what it looked like, but not a lot doing there. Another empty backfield set. Graves stepping up in the pocket, making things happen with his feet. Good throw to Sullivan. Sullivan wrapped up from behind, and he will be brought down by Michael Longo at the 26-yard line. Maybe we'll make it the 27. Flag thrown in the area of the pocket. We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, the play that Pike just ran right there, Graves just waiting for the pass rushes to come in, and finding the open receivers late is pretty effective play, because usually that play has been very successful for Pike, but another penalty for Pike, moving them back.
And as you said, scrambling and waiting till late to throw it, it opens up some open receivers downfield, but it also makes you pretty prone to holding penalties as you're forcing the offensive line to get into some pretty tough positions to try and protect you, and that's what we saw happen there. They were not able to.
They need to be careful here on a 3rd and 5, Mike, because you're going to give Noblesville some time if you don't convert here on 3rd and 5.
At the 16-yard line. And Noblesville's really good in the middle. So chances are, at this point in the ball game, to run the football on maybe a draw is not going to work. You got to find a way to get the ball in space here to some of your receivers.
And I think because of the style of offense Noblesville runs, that's why they are holding on to their timeouts instead of using them to stop the clock from a defensive standpoint. Now, credit Pat Shanley. He's going to use a timeout here, but he ran that clock all the way down, Mike, as far as he could go before he called that timeout. So some gamesmanship being displayed by coaches on both sides. As we mentioned, the other half of this bracket features Carmel at Westfield. Some of the other teams of note in action tonight, Evansville Mater Dei and Linton Stockton, Heritage Christian and Cecina promise to be an interesting matchup. Sheridan at Monroe Central. Bud Wright shows no signs of slowing down at Sheridan. I guess when you have a hamburger named after you at the concession stand, you can coach as long as you want. Now, we mentioned John Hart's son, who's the head coach at Gibson Southern. They're playing Heritage Hills. That's always a rivalry when those two get together. How about Lawrenceburg and Batesville? That's always a good one. Battle of Hendricks County tonight. It's Danville and Tri-West. We know the winner of that one will get Sullivan, who knocked off Monrovia tonight. For Buff and Guerin Catholic, that's one that people had an eye on. And I know that maybe it's not a game that gets a lot of notoriety, Evansville Central at Northview, but, Mark Rates has done a great job over at Northview, Mike. He's the former coach at Terre Haute South and the son of longtime Indiana State football coach Dennis Rates. Dennis helps Mark over there, and Mark, of course, went to Air Force, so that's a nice story over there in Clay County.
I would agree. I saw Northview play 5 or 6 years ago, and they weren't very good.
3rd and 5. They'll run the jet sweep to Brian Jenkins, and he's going to get the corner. Little stop and go move to the 40, and he could be gone.
Wow.
How about that? Brian Jenkins going to put an exclamation point on this night on 3rd and 5. What a great call by Lafayette Jeff.
What a great job by Jenkins on that hesitation on the sideline and great vision. And then he turned to Jets. What a great play there. Let's take a look at this one. Good blocking on the outside there by Munoz, 32.
Oh, Munoz with a seal block that actually sprung him.
Yep.
How about that?
There it is.
And he is off to the races. And no matter how many times you watch him, Mike, he's going to score every time. How about that?
Wow.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
Not bad at all.
And, with all of his prowess catching the football, what a job that he has done running the football tonight, a couple of times that they have run that sweep. Now, ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 2:24 left, Lafayette Jeff could breathe just a little bit maybe, huh?
Just a little bit, but Noblesville still has some life. They still can find a way to get the ball in the end zone or a field goal. And maybe an onside kick, get the ball back and another score. But they've got to be precise. And now Jeff is in the driver's seat with just 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining. And what a tremendous run by Jenkins. As we pointed out, Munoz, a great block out in the flat there for the Broncos offensive unit.
Well, we said that eventually a big play is going to bite you. You've got to make the most of scoring opportunities, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, that's what makes this ball club very, difficult to defend against.
I mean, look at the way this is blocked on the edge, though.
Yeah.
Mike. I mean, you know, Munoz with a great steal block. What great vision, though, to plant that outside foot and then get upfield. And then, you know, the last tackler had one shot at him, and that was it. And then he was gone. What a play.
Their offense is explosive. When you can have those kind of skill sets, you have a chance to come back any time that you're behind or have a chance to maintain and milk a lead. So I think Lafayette Jeff has had that advantage tonight in that those skill positions, and that's really paid off for them, despite the fact that I still think that Noblesville has won the special teams war. And frankly, if they get a good kickoff here, who knows how this game could end.
Mike, well, we have an opportunity tomorrow from 12 to 2 at Beech Grove High School, which is, of course, in Indianapolis. They're unveiling Matt English Court. Matt, the longtime AD and basketball coach at Beech Grove, battling brain cancer. And Matt will be there with his wife, Angela, former players, athletic directors, coaches, anyone who's known Matt, associated with him. His slogan is "We Before Me," and he lives it, trust me. And hoping for a great show of support tomorrow as we pay tribute to our good friend Matt English at Beech Grove High School tomorrow. Going to be a day of celebration for sure, and that's exactly the way Matt wants it to be. So those of you watching us that are familiar with Coach English, got friends and has had influences all over the state. I mean, he started coaching at Seeger, he coached at Eminence, he coached at Center Grove, played for Cliff Hawkins, and coached with Cliff Hawkins, the legend. And Matt, of course, has done some just phenomenal things with the basketball program at Beech Grove, along with being the athletic director there. So, again, that's at Beech Grove tomorrow from 12 to 2. And, Coach, we're thinking about you. Wish you well for sure. So week 2 of sectional play underway for all of the classes except for this one. This is week number 1. Does anyone have anything at all for the Warren Central Warriors? I mean, realistically. I mean, Jason West, David Bell and company, what a football team they have. What would have been interesting is this Warren Central team against last year's Ben Davis team.
Yep.
And that Ben Davis team, quite frankly, was right up there. And even the legend Dick Dullahan himself would tell you that last year's Ben Davis team might have given his national championship team a run for their money. That's how good they were with Reese Taylor and company. And you know, Mike, that team was about 3 years in the making because they were racked by injuries and very, very young. And when Reese Taylor and his classmates were sophomores, there were 19 of them playing, and that had never happened before at Ben Davis. And the downside to that is that's put Coach Simmons, the former coach at Noblesville, and not in rebuilding mode, but he has a young football team at Ben Davis for sure.
Yeah, he does. But they're battling tonight with that great Warren Central team. It's 28-21 at halftime. There's an upset in the brewing, by the way. The former football team for this Noblesville head man is losing 7-3 in the third. South Dearborn over East Central. Wow, look at this.
Little throwback. And that will not turn out the way that they had planned, but it's what you got to try at this time is the throwback to Wyatt Blades. Was down at about the 25-yard line. So loss of a couple on that attempt as Zach Gruber threw it across. And as we mentioned, Wyatt Blades was the recipient there. So, a 10, 11-point hole now for Noblesville. As they see the clock working against them with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left to play.
Well, final score, Triton Central, pretty good ball club, knocked out Knightstown tonight, 20-0. Mooresville over Richmond, 48-21. And Center Grove drills Columbus North, 42-0.
Mike Gillen tied for the Mid-State Conference Championship as the deep ball is picked off.
That could be it.
And that should do it, as the interception by John L. King puts the exclamation point on it once and for all, if you will. But last year, Mike, the Mooresville Pioneers were at 1 point 0-8 in the Mid-State Conference, and they come back to tie for the conference championship this year. Mike Gillen in the Indiana Football Hall of Fame, and has over 300 wins in his career at Tri-West. And then, of course, at Decatur Central, built a solid program at Indian Creek, and now a resurrection job at Mooresville High School. And Mike goes back to the days when he and the late Wayne Staley, the longtime coach at Monroe.
So now Graves in a deep shotgun 5 yards back. Empty backfield. He's back to pass. Short throw. A little less than 50 yards there as Sanders can't make the grab.
Yeah, to try to throw a quick throw because Tigers defense expected a long throw, but a quick throw could have been effective, but a little behind the wide receiver and a little bit low for the receiver to catch.
Repeat formation, low snap. Graves tossing that one up, and that's picked off by Seth Dunnick. Dunnick's first interception of the year. He's down the sideline, ripped out of bounds at the 50. So Seth Dunnick making a big-time play there. Read Graves' eyes, jumped up, made the grab.
Yeah, good awareness by Dunnick right there. The one of 3 Dunnicks that have played.
Here at Mooresville, my son coaches at Avon Middle School South, and they played a middle school jamboree. And who do you think was there on the sidelines watching the 7th and 8th grade play that day? None other than Mike Gillen. I mean, the varsity football coach was there on a Saturday afternoon, seeing what the foundation of his program looked like. And that explains the success. It's like Pat Shanley talked about here. From 6th grade on up, it's their system. We know what Eric Moore's done at Center Grove. From the time a kid puts on a pair of pads in 3rd grade, he's running that wing tee at Center Grove, and that's all they all run all the way up. And that's what it takes to be successful nowadays, for sure.
There's no doubt about it. And, you know, I think for Noblesville, they have a lot to look forward to. It looks like Justin Roden, his first year, will go down with a loss, but also having watched some Noblesville youth football, there's a lot of talent in Hamilton County for that ball club to come back and really make a run at some point.
Mike, 4-7 his first year at East Central. He got above 500, I think was like 8-4 his second year. And then he won a semi-state, he won a regional, and then a state championship. So this is true to form for Justin Roden, a season like he's having this year at Noblesville. And let's not forget your opening comments. 4 starters lost to injury, and at least 3 other primary players on offense and defense who have battled illnesses, including pneumonia, over the past couple of weeks. They came in here a banged-up football team, and he was genuinely concerned, but is, I think, going to go home very, very proud, and rightfully so.
And there's something that you can build on when you can compete here on the road against a really good Lafayette Jeff Ball Club, who were knocked out last year by Carmel 41-20. Carmel gets by Westville tonight. It'll be a rematch of that sectional contest. And Lafayette Jeff, with the ability to throw the football and score points, and their defense has a shot.
Kokomo 22-20 over McCutcheon with 4:45 to play. Wow. Getting that update from our good friend Coach Scheib, who used to patrol the sidelines for Noblesville. It's been an interesting ball game, Mike. It's been one of 2 halves. I got to give a lot of credit to Noblesville, but also, you know, credit Lafayette Jeff for playing well enough to win. I think, especially in this 4th quarter, when they needed big defensive plays, they got it. And we mentioned in the last 5 or 6 minutes that Noblesville had some scoring opportunities that they didn't take advantage of, and you just can't have empty possessions against Lafayette Jeff. They're just too many weapons, and they're just too darn good. Mm-hmm. They'll make you pay, and that's exactly what they did with a long touchdown run by Brian Jenkins. And Munoz, I tell you, he may be a little slow to roll out of the rack tomorrow. I mean, he limped off at one point, looked like he wasn't coming back, but the first half it just seemed like he was everywhere, running screens and running the football hard and picking up blitzes, and he's had a really good night for this football team.
Yeah, it's outstanding game by Munoz. And the center has done a really good job tonight for Lafayette Jeff.
Yeah, how about Lennon, DeBoer, May, Nelson, and Richie, that offensive line?
Tremendous.
Because, Mike, that up-tempo, that's not easy for those linemen.
Not at all.
Those guys range, from 230 to 288. I mean, Drew DeBoer at that left guard position, 6'2", 288, and he's got to have his stuff together in order to be able to run that up-tempo offense.
Talked about one of the keys to the game, Mark, was the play in the trenches, and certainly tonight I think Jeff won the battle in terms of their offensive line. And it is hard for that offensive line in that tempo, throwing the football, running east-west, north-south. but they've done a great job this evening moving the football.
His concern, Justin Roden's, was big plays and multiple offensive formations and their ability to defend them. That essentially was what sealed the deal off of that the jet sweep that they were so successful on with Brian Jenkins. But on the other side of the football, Coach Bremer came in a bit concerned about Noblesville defensively. And I think those concerns were warranted, especially in the second half. They really slowed that offense down and changed the pace of the game. And I think much of the credit has to go to